These here are my shoes. I bought them over 5 years ago and they've taken me on countless adventures. 2 years ago, I also bought these, the Lems Boulder Boots. Minimalist, waterproof, and a toe box wider than anything I'd ever worn before, the shoe felt like I really wasn't wearing one. And I fell in love. Recently though, my toes started breaking free, and it became apparent it was time for a new pair. The choice was obvious, a pair of Lems Primal Z. The only problem? They only retail in one store over 100 kilometers away. So without giving much thought to a real plan, I packed the bike and set off to go pick them up. My day began around 12 o'clock noon. I used the navigation app Komoot to plan me a route down some gravel roads that I had never been down before. If all went according to plan, I should be there before the sun sets. Alright, so I'm about 20 kilometers outside of Winnipeg, and I just traveled down this beautiful, gorgeous road. Look at this. Corn. Right there on the cob. A whole field of it too. Just right in the husk. It's really nice here. The only problem, actually a big problem, is that the road is pretty muddy. My tires are getting full of mud. I can hear it leaking. I can hear my tire leaking. In the middle of nowhere. Oh my god. That's completely on me. Trying to avoid the mud, and I ended up pushing it straight through a thicket of thistles. Yeah, look at this.
Sometimes things happen beyond your control, as if they have a life of their own. The choices you make, what appears to be right, seems you just have no say. As if you're a witness to your own mistakes, it's easy to play along. After you
look at this mud.
What the choices came to be, like a storm that's passed on.
Yeah. No shit. Do you ever just think that there's signs from the universe telling you that you should maybe not do something? Do you believe in that? Sometimes I do. Time was ticking. I'd spent 45 minutes trying to repair my inner tube, and another hour backtracking through the mud. So I'm actually quite glad that I chose to wear some boots today, because for the past few days the weather's been a bit rainy and kind of cloudy and whatnot, and I honestly did not think that it was going to be soaking wet mud. The map told me that that was the way to go, so I kind of went that way, and yeah, I don't know, I somehow managed to pick the nicest days of the year to ride. There's not a cloud in the sky today, and like, look at this. About halfway. Yeah, I'm actually getting really hungry, so I've just dug into all the fruits and stuff that I brought with me. I'm a little bit concerned that I'm not going to have enough food, or that I'm going to crash, and like, you know, crash as in like run out of energy. So far the ride's been pretty good. We're on a stretch of highway now. I haven't done a whole lot of highway. It's kind of new to me. So having cars like whizzing past my head is a little bit intimidating, but it's something I'm gonna get used to. I've often heard that the sort of the rule, or the general rule, consensus is that you're meant to eat before you get hungry. As soon as you start feeling hungry, it's too late. And I'm starting to feel hungry. Like, I could eat this entire core. Generally, I couldn't, but I just feel like I need food. Literally anything. Pickles, bananas, and apples. That's what I chose to sustain me for 100 kilometers. And only 2 bottles of water. I'm getting really concerned that the sun is going to set, and I'll be pedaling in the dark. I'm very, very worried about that. But I don't know. Well, I'm in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And all around me, every direction you look, you can pretty much see the horizon. It's pretty amazing. The temperature is definitely starting to drop. The sun is setting exactly as I had feared it would. This has been a very interesting ride so far. Right there is a road closed sign, and the road's gone. But like, the road, there's no road. Komoot has completely failed me today. Completely failed me. I mean, it is partly my fault too. I didn't check the route that I was taking. Because I gotta get that way. Otherwise I'm going all the way around. I can't go around. I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna be riding on the highway at dark. I don't want to do that, so I think I'm gonna bushwhack it. The sun sets around 7:30 p.m. this time of year. Having left at noon and encountering several muddy and closed roads, it was beginning to take its toll on me. In the end, however, the road did in fact go nowhere, and I was forced to backtrack once again. So you see, part of my plan was that I was going to camp at a campsite that I had reserved the day before at the place that I was staying. Now, because I hadn't planned properly, and I didn't bring enough food and enough water, and I left way too late in the day, my mentality towards this whole adventure really started to shift. I want to quit. I didn't nourish myself properly today. I didn't bring enough food. I didn't plan a very good route. I just feel like eating pizza. Of all things. I just feel like ordering a pizza and sitting on my couch, watching some YouTube, watching other people struggle through this. Okay. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna keep going. At the onset of this adventure, I'd planned it would take 100 kilometers to get to the store. But because of the muddy and closed roads along the way, It was approaching 120 kilometers at this point. I was frustrated, hungry, and just overall felt defeated. Every stroke of the pedal hurt, my stomach grumbled, and my malnourished mind was running circles around the thought of quitting. Yeah, I was pretty much done. I didn't want to do it anymore. At that point, I called my dad and I talked to him for a little bit, just sort of talking it through exactly what I was doing, but I was done. And eventually, after a bit of chatting with my dad, and I set up my tent and whatever, and I quit. I'd had enough. I was done. In hindsight, looking back at it now, I could have easily just slept there and continued on in the morning. But I didn't meet my goal. I didn't do what I had set out to accomplish, which was to camp at this campsite. I figured I was done. I thought the video was over. It was going to take about another hour for my dad to get out there, so I had a bit of time to think. And I called my aunt and uncle, and they gave me a bit of a different way of looking at things, a different perspective on it.
No, and not all road trips are successful, and there are some people out there that admit when it's gone wrong and explain what happened, and you're smart to cut it short, right?
Yeah, because I could easily think of this as like as a failure, and I don't want to do this ever again, and it's just
No, it's a learning event.
Yeah, I learned that I didn't plan very well.
Make a video of you driving to the store, saying, I'm driving to the store, and then at the end, after I drive to the store, and then go walk in the store and say, okay, now I'm going to cut to my failed attempt to get to this store.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Rest when you get home, and then you can show us the video unedited.
Oh no. Hey, I got a joke for you. I'm like a scarecrow. I'm outstanding in my field.
Holding an orange beacon.
Yeah.